what we'd like to do is this: write a Java program in which computes the sum of all odd numbers between 0 and 100. Okay, first of all, let's just display all the numbers between 0 and 100, and then we'll try to improve that by just displaying only the odd numbers and then sum those odd numbers. You have to be able to see a big problem and be able to know where to cut that big problem into smaller problems that you can control. So we know how to display from 1 to 10. We will know how to display from 0 to 100, right? Just small things. So do that first. And then we don't want to display all the numbers. Only the odd numbers should be displayed. So then I'll put a condition on the display just to display only the odd numbers. And then we do the next thing, which is sum those odd numbers. So what I need to do, okay, help me here. Int, let's say my number that I'm going to be using. Let's start this from 0, because I'd like to start from 0, right? The question said from 0 to 100. So let's start from 0. And then I have a question while my number is less or equal to 100. And then here what I'm doing, display that number and then plus with a space. At the end, I'm going to just display, go back to the line, just like that, just so I can see the numbers in one line and then go back to the line. Let's run this and see if it's working. Okay, so I can see from 0, 1, etc. until 100. Why am I seeing this in different lines? Because I selected wrap text here. When I right click and you select wrap text, either it shows you in one line or it wraps the text after it gets, just to be able to see it in one window. Don't have to scroll there. So you can see that I'm displaying all of them. Now I don't want to display all the numbers from 0 to 100. I would like to display only the odd numbers. And we know how we can find the odd number from an even number by asking a question. If the number with the modular division by 2 is equal to 1, then this is an odd number. So now instead of doing something like this, I need to ask a question. And I'm asking the question inside, right? Because what I need to do is to ask if my number is odd or not. I'm going to be doing something different. So if it's odd, that means here the number is odd. So if the number is odd, what should I do? I should display that number. And then, well, in all cases, I need to increment. Why I did here just number without the plus plus, and I extracted the plus plus here, and this is the difficulty after finding the question on how to deal with this, is that because actually if I leave it like this, it's going to increment only if it's odd. So first time 0 is less than 100, yes. 0, if with the modular division by 2, is it going to be equal to 1? No. So if I leave it like this, 0 is going to be stay 0 and then go up. Is 0 less than 10, less than 100? Yes. 0 modular division 2 equal to 1? No. Yes. So I'm going to be having an infinite loop. That's why I need this plus plus to be not only here, but every time if I ask the question, and actually it needs to be here, maybe it will be easier for you to understand it, and here as well. So if the number is odd, I display and I increment. If the number is even, because I'm going to be in the else, I'm going just to increment. So now if it's 0, 0 is less than 100, yes. 0, is it an odd? No. So increment. Now it becomes 1. 1 is less than 100, yes. Is 1 odd? Yes. I'll display increment and then go up. So I'm incrementing here and I'm incrementing here I can just make things simpler, remove the incrementation, and then remove the else. Every time I increment, so every time I'm going to check if it's odd or even, should I display it, and then I increment. Do you think this is enough for it to work? Sorry?
What is the summation?
No, the summation is not there. Just, is it going to be displaying all the odd numbers between 0 and 100? Well, look at this code. I know, I will click on the button and I will try it. But before clicking on that button, do you think it's going to be working or not?
Yes.
Who says yes? Just raise your hands. Or the other says no. Who says no? Maybe the others are going to be neither saying yes or no, because they might say, I don't know. Well, try it. Just try. Put some number and see how it works. If this is 0, 0 less than 100? Yes. This question is 0, the remainder division of 0 by 2. Is it equal to 1?
No.
No. So I'm not going inside this. What's next is this number plus plus. Number becomes 1. I go up because I finished, this is the while. I always go up and ask the question, is 1 less than 100? Yes. 1 multiplied division by 2, is it equal to 1? I have 1 card to give to 2 people.
Yeah, you keep it with you.
I give 0, 0, and how many is left? 1. So it is going to be 1. Then I get inside. And I'm going to do display 1 with a space, and then 1 becomes 2. Is 2 less than 100? Yes. 2 multiplied division by 2. Is it equal to 1? No. I have 2 cards to give to 2 people. 1, 1. What is left? 0. I always look at what is left. So I have 0 left. That means this is not equal to 1. I'll get out. And then 2 becomes 3. Is 3 less than 100? Yes. 3 multiplied division by 2. Is it equal to 1? Yeah. 3 smartphones to 2 people. Everyone gets 1. I have 1 left. So 1 is left. And then I'm going to display this number 3 with a space. And then it becomes 4. And so on. So it seems it's going to work, inshallah. Let's click on this. And because this is going to, I forgot to remove the ln. Let's do it again. Now I can see it's 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, blah, 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 etc. until 99. Alhamdulillah, it's working. So now how to sum these numbers? So if I'm here, I know I have only the odd numbers. How to sum these numbers? Well, I need another variable where I can put the sum. So let's declare another variable. Let's name it sum and put 0 inside of it. So what I'm going to be doing, instead of displaying, I don't need to display now. I know that this code is having only the odd numbers. I need to sum them. So instead of having this, I'm going to take the sum, which at the first, it is 0, and I add to it whatever comes in the number. So sum is 0, the first number is 1, add 1 to 0, and put it in sum. Again, number is becoming 3, add 1 to the sum to 3 to sum, and that becomes 4, and so on. So it's going to be calculating the sum of all those odd numbers here. And then at the end, maybe I can display the sum of all odd numbers between 0 and 100 is plus sum. Run. And if you don't trust the computer, you can just do something. You can display this. Let's display, let's say, first of all, I'm going to display sum. Or maybe let's do something like this. Sum equal sum. And then number. So now I'm going to display the number and the sum, maybe in one line. So I will have each one line, I can see the number and the sum, and within the loop, so I can see that I can compare. So first one, number 1, the sum is 1. 1 plus 3, 4, plus 5, 9, plus 7, 16, 16 plus 9, 25. So it seems to be doing the right calculation. If I don't trust it, I need to just to calculate myself. But actually what it is doing, alaikum salam, it is doing this calculation. So I don't need to display this. Let me put this just in comment so I can maybe have it somewhere. So now if you run, it just gives you this 2500, which is the result of this sum. So this is coming from here. So you see we went through 3 major steps. The first one, display all the numbers, then display only the odd numbers, then we had to add those odd numbers into a sum without the need of displaying them, and that's it. And then we double check that this is working. If the question was the sum of even numbers, what would be the change that I should do here?
You change the reminder to equal 0.
I need to change this to 0. Now if I change it to 0, you're right, it's going to be even, and then the sum of even numbers is going to be calculated. Let's run it and see. This is the sum of the even numbers. 0 plus 2 plus 4 plus etc. What if I would like to calculate the sum, display the sum of both the even and the odd numbers? If I'd like to display the sum at the end, I would like to display is the sum of all odd numbers is, and the sum of all even numbers is something. Then I need 2 variables.
2f.
No. Well, yes. Not 2f, but 2 variables. I need the sum for the odds. Let me just maybe rename this to sum odd, and I need another one for the sum even. And this, if this is equal this, that means it's odd, else the number is even. And if it's even, instead of doing this, what I'm going to be doing, this. So now if I run this, I can see the sum of all the odds and sum of all the even numbers at the same time, because I have like these 2 different calculations. Let's try this and see how it works. Let me show you something very important if you really would like to understand a program step by step, and you don't want just to try to remember the content of the variables, you'd like to see them. Look at this one. I click on this number of the lines, and it shows like some sort of red line along with this some sort of a stop button. Actually, this is a stop button. What I'm saying, I'm going to ask the computer when it arrives to this line, stop and wait for it so I can see inside of the variables, and then I can control the execution line by line, and this way you can see the content of your variables, and each line is when it is executed, if this is true or false, and so on. How can we do that? If we'd like to see this and stop, we cannot run with this button over here, because if you run with this button, it will not stop, even if you put this thing over here. And this is called the debugging. I need to run with the debugging and debug my project. So now if I run with this, as you're going to see, I haven't seen the result yet, but still you can see now it becomes green, which means the computer has just executed what was before this line, and now it is ready to run this line. So when it's ready to run this line, let's see, there's a couple of things that we can see here. It shows me this is the breakpoint. The breakpoint is where it will stop. This is the breakpoints. This is the place when I put this stop sign. This is called the breakpoint. And then I can see my variables, as you can see here. I have my number is equal to 0, number odd, 0, number even, 0. Now let's have these buttons over here that will allow me to move around. Let's say, for example, this one, step over. It will ask a question. What if I'd like to see the result of this question, if it's true or false? If I have this, I can add this, right click and then click on New Watch. And if I click on New Watch, you can see that it shows me the question and the value of that. Is this true or false? I have this, for example, same thing. Is this true or false? Just right click and where is this add watch? New watch. Yes. So now I'm seeing also I can select some parts and see the result of that expression, the Boolean expression. I can see it. So the number is here and I can see if the number, if this is true or false. Now let's run this and try to follow up our code. It's about to run this. You can see that this question is true, so it's going to get inside. And then if number is equal, this number is equal to 0, then I can just put my mouse over it, I can see it. If this is true or false, is the number odd or even? So you can see it's false. That means I'm going to, if I click on this button, I'm going to the else. And it's going to calculate sum. This is 0. 0 plus 0 is equal to 0. Put 0, so nothing will change. And then number plus plus. What's going to do, if you look here, the number is going to be incremented by 1. Check this. Notice what would happen. Now it becomes 1. And now I'm up again. And then I can control and see what is going on. And I can see now this is some odd now is going to be changed. And see some odd now has 1. Number becomes 2. And go up. Is this true? Yes. Number is less or equal to 100. And so on. So you can follow your variables and see how they change the values of your variables. And you can follow like this until you're confident that it is doing what you want. And if you'd like it to finish continuing, just click on this button and click on this one so I can finish. Now you can see it's finishing and I can probably see the output, which is here. So this is how you can debug and try to understand if your program is not doing what you expect it to be doing. You can just follow line by line until you find, oh, this value should not be here, it should be that value. So then you know where to focus on, which statement you need to focus on. So this is more than just the exercise 1, but I think it might. I'll leave it like here. I'll leave it here and I put it online. What I do also in all the different projects that I put online, I just put this in the source package. I remove it from this to put it here. Notice what would happen to this package over here. I'm going to, when I put it here with refactor, it is going just to remove the package. So I don't need, and it says like default package. So because some of you are not always using NetBeans, even you're free to use any IDE if you want. And that's why when I'm putting the file online, I'm not putting the package in a package. I just put it without any package. So I can delete this one. I only keep it. So you can open it very easily in any different IDE that you're using. So I'm going to put this online as well, inshallah. Okay?